So to start off with Shunt pneumatics, lift this up. We've got the CO2 bottle that sits down there. Opening point there for the tool, and the first thing that goes on here is the regulator. It just screws onto that connection, but I can't do that just now because it's the wrong size bottle. The outlet from the regulator comes out this pipe into this isolation valve. So this just allows me to turn the gas on and off. Basically because putting the tool in here when the bucket's on is quite kind of close together, so I can turn that off, open the gas, once my hand's out the road, turn that on, and that flows gas into the system. So the pipe coming back in from that valve is this one here, into a T-piece, and off the T-piece here I've just got the 10 bar safety pressure relief valve. The regulator does have one built in as well, I think, but this is just to satisfy FRA rules. So that's there, and then I'll take the shell off because this is going to get kind of complicated to explain. 2 secs. So PRV, as I just mentioned, into the T-piece. This is the bit that goes to the valve on the body. Supply of gas goes down this pipe here, and I'll take this off to let you see it better, but into this pipe in here, T-piece here, this leg comes off and up this connection here. That goes to one end of the dump valve comes back in, and then so dump valve there, the gas goes through there, through the dump valve in the back in here, up, and exhausts out the exhaust stack. Off, so this is the incoming gas here. Off the other side of this T-piece, we go up to this T-piece here, through a restrictor valve and into a 5.2 valve. This is for actuating the bucket at the front. I'll explain in a second why it's a 5.2 valve. From the T-piece going back the way, we've got a T-piece into this valve here, and then the feed focus, damn you, focus, feed's going into this valve here. So this one round here, the outlet from it, which one's that? Okay, so that's the retract for the axe. So this pipe here, if we follow it, comes out the top into the retract. This valve at the back here, out this pipe, into an elbow, and into the axe fire section. Yeah, so I'll pop the axe off and show inside a bit better. So the axe mechanism is just 4 bolts, 4 M8s, 2 at the back and 2 at the front. And then just bring the axe down. Once those 4 bolts are out, with a bit of persuasion, the axe mechanism just should probably put a locking bolt in there actually. Okay, can't find it. Oh, not work. So then I can just pick up the axe and voila. So this is the pneumatics looking from the top down. So just to recap, this is the incoming gas supply from the bottle and regulator. Tees off here into the valve for firing the axe, and also into the valve for firing the retract. Like I said, the bucket one goes through a flow restrictor here, because I don't want the bucket operating on full 9 bar pressure. It doesn't need to be that high, so that just reduces the flow a bit and makes it a bit less powerful. So the bucket goes into a 5-2 valve. The reason for this is because it's literally the only other valve I had spare. I don't need the powered retract on this valve, so I basically just put a dump valve in there, an isolation valve in the closed position, and that stops the gas from flowing through here. So the gas for the bucket comes through this line into this Y bend, and then just out on a sweeping curve to each of the bucket rams. And in terms of control, I've got these two switchers, electronic switchers here. This one controls the axe forward and back, and this one controls the bucket, just fire for that one. And all these do is they just give out a 22.26S battery output voltage through here, and it's just basically a, where's the best picture? Basically a positive and negative connection to the solenoid valve, and that just opens it up and allows the gas to pass from the inlet to the outlet and through to the port. When the power is taken away, the valve springs closed, and the gas that was in this pipe and the ram itself vents back out this port here, which is just open to atmosphere. Same for the axe fire, and the bucket retract goes out that port there. So when the bucket goes down, all the air is forced, or CO2 is forced back through there and just vents out there. If I'm feeling ambitious, I might tie those exit ports into the dump valve so that it's all venting out the exhaust stack, but maybe not today. So drive's all on that stick. And weapons are on this stick. It's the axe on left and right, and bucket on channel 5. So if I move the axe, and yeah, so that's the pneumatics on shunt. Any questions? And just in case anyone wants a run through of the axe mechanism as well, I've got 2 strips of metal here which are bolted onto the uprights. These come through to a kind of L-shaped bracket welded together there, so there's no bolts or anything holding that bit on. A M16 bolt going through the ram clevis here. Same on the other side as well. I've had to grind those down so they don't rub in the chassis, and then this bit inside is a threaded M16 insert, so they just both screw in to that bit in the middle. The top part of the L just goes through a spacer and some washers, and that's just an M10 bolt and nut. Up at the top, two arms from that L piece up to the top, fitting into this axe bracket here. Just some M6s with some fancy washers that I got on some lift equipment, and again that's just going into a spacer there, and in the other side as well. So what happens is the ram pushes on this part here, which in turn hinges from the bottom and pushes these arms here out and all the way down into the fired position. That spring should stay there, but annoyingly it keeps on getting caught. And then just the opposite in reverse, the ram pulls on this L piece here. As that pulls back, there's nowhere for this to go apart from up. So if I just do it in reverse. So that's the vertical position. You can just see the mechanism in its position there, and then the axe just pulls that all back. Like so.